America possesses no soul, so technically killing this country would not be a crime.
Only one day is left. Only one day. We are leaving the others. We are going away. Today we all steer. Animals we are. Possession is lost. Our souls are from the wild, and wings to reach the sky. Let the sun fall into the ocean, let the earth erupt in flame. It is enough to have the strength and knowledge to raise our dream machines into the sky. Let them sleep who do not know the final day is here. The very last, and we leave at dawn. There is no force, no money, and no power to stop us now and change our fate. Now every problem is destroyed. We raise our hands and bodies to the peak, into the universe, towards the stars we go. Machines we are sending to the skies above us all, and leave behind those who don't know of the final day. We leave in sleep those who don't know, we leave at dawn. We are driven by the bee machine, wild bee machine that never stops.
Machines we are sending to the skies above us all and leave behind those who don't know of the final day we live in. Sleep those who don't know, and we live at dawn. We are driven by the big machine that never stops.
I think the message that Laibach could bring to America is that there is a difference between pride and nationality and prejudice, and there's a difference between preparing and outright paranoia. I think that's something that in America, Americans are getting very confused between the difference right now, and it's very scary over here. We're very afraid of what may happen next.
During the past 3 years, we have recognized that if we rely on luck, we will be defeated. Instead, by developing a strategy of a forward-deployed, active layered defense, supported by the very best technology that we can commit to that mission, we can be proactive in identifying the enemy threat, whether that threat exists in Afghanistan, or off the coast of the United States, or within our own cities. Lincoln was right. Our cause is new. And let me assure you, in the aftermath of September the 11th, we are thinking and acting anew. Thank you.
Wild world, it's a battleground. Wild world, and we're going to smash it down. Wild world. The dogs of war don't negotiate.
Yeah, I was at the Laibach show last night, and I'd never gone to see them, and I had always felt that they were somewhat too sinister for my taste. But I couldn't resist. So, once the beat was totally infectious, and again, it's not the sort of thing that I normally go for because I don't really like that kind of four on the floor, heavy hitting thing. But then again, I couldn't really help myself, and as I was watching, I began to have a sense, it's like my body couldn't help but move. And this for me is remarkable because I'm very reserved normally, and you know, it's hard to get me to dance, but it was easy last night to just, you know, start moving. And as I was just let myself be swept up in the music, in the show, in the just brutal theatricality of it, I realized that what was happening was that a kind of pressure was being applied to my, car, we better move. A kind of psychic pressure I felt was being applied to me that, on the face of it, would seem rather sinister. But then at the same time, what the effect that it was having was incredibly benevolent. It was like it was a certain kind of oppression that was liberating, and beyond that, I think I just get a little stupid because I was transformed. I was kind of, you know, it was a transcendent moment for me. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
You know, it pretty much encapsulates exactly how I feel about American culture right now, and the fact that it's actually embarrassing to be an American right now, you know, in our day and times, and the fact that they are coming out and saying exactly how I feel about America. Even though I am an American, it's still one of those things that, you know, it's good to hear from other people exactly how I feel, even though they're from another country. It's exactly, you know, what I feel about America right now. The Americans are total sheep. They have the wool pulled over their eyes, and, you know, they're pretty much facing their own death as we speak.
Well, you know, it's funny. I had a really argumentative discussion with another American this morning.
Yeah.
You know, and this guy, I just couldn't agree with him. You know, he was so conservative, so for Bush. I'm against Bush, you know. I mean, there was no common ground that we could even think about. And yet he paid the fare and everything. We didn't shoot each other or start a fight, but he just didn't, you know.
Different values.
Well, yeah, you know, there's conservatives in the United States. You're from Slovenia, so you're sort of a neutral as to Iraq, okay? But, I mean, there's a lot of people in the United States, you know, Bush only won 51% to 49%. That's a very small amount. But now he thinks he can go and he has committed the United States to staying in Iraq. To me, that's the stupidest thing in the world. You know, I mean, what right do we have to go into another country like that?
I don't know. You know, it's really dark times because there's even right now issues that there were fake votes in the contested states, and so I mean, this is almost a fascism. What's going on right now, in a very American guise, rooting for moral things, which Laibach might touch on, but I think that's one of the strongest things, is that they're using moral and very emotional issues to divide a country as opposed to things that are logical and reasonable.
Do you have a question? Well, it's sort of related to what he was talking about before, is because the promotion for this tour features sort of this old Europe, like fascist imagery or pseudo or communist imagery. Behind it's the American flag. I was thinking if you were making a comment on the political developments in the United States right now.
Fascist imagery.
Well, it's sort of typical imagery that with the uniformed character holding with a band.
Whose uniform is that?
Well, it's ambiguous and it's associated with.
It's American. It's American uniform.
Oh, it is. Okay. So.
Difficult place to be after the election. Cleveland tried very hard to get Kerry elected, and people worked very hard and got a record number of voters out in Cleveland. We had over 200,000 votes for Kerry in Cuyahoga County, which is where Cleveland is. However, it wasn't enough to counter what the Bush people did in the South, in the southern part of our state. So it was very disappointing to everybody to have Ohio be the state that lost the election to George Bush. So everybody is mourning and doesn't know what to do next. This is all very sudden because it happened only a few days, a week and a half ago. There may be, one of my friends said, obviously people need to learn a stronger lesson, and that maybe 4 more years of George Bush will turn something around. We obviously get it, a lot of people in Cleveland get it, but there's a lot of America that doesn't get it and believes that George Bush is a tough guy and America needs to be a tough country.
If you turn them from your door, then you can tell the world that Hitler lives again.
Fertile land.
It's the 21st century, and Jesus Christ is a superstar. Particularly the American election really shows the role of Jesus. And I noticed that Laibach and NSK, Neue Slowenische Kunst, promote Christianity. And why?
To go further through blistering heat, chasing death, erasing distance, devouring time with infinite greed.
When we first met, we would fuck to Laibach for 6 months in a row. And I was just like, basically like, no, this sounds drunk and stupid, seriously. No, talk to me off camera.
Burning alive in our ritual songs. The sky satellites, as if the stars were at war. The desert is burning.
Laibach really knows how to create an atmosphere. I like like it a lot.
It was an orgasm waiting to happen, and it finally happened, and it was beautiful.
Black circle, and this is the black cross. This is the dark funeral at midnight.
But anyway, so it was amazing when we first put it on. I had nothing. I'm like, you know, in the Spice Girls, you know, I'm like this little girl from you know, Nebraska, and I heard Laibach for the first time, and just like the drums beating and like the lead singer sing. Basically, I don't know how to explain it, but I turned on from every person. It's like McDonald's. For every person that I turned on, another person turned it on. So that's why, you know, it all spreads. 10 billion users, Laibach. No, everybody likes Laibach. It's scary.
I will take your thoughts and I'll make them mine. I will speak your language and I'll make it mine. It will sound different, clear cut and crude. It will sound stronger once it is mine.
Zdravo, govorim slovensko malo, aber ich spreche Deutsch. Ich habe Laibach sehr gern. Ich habe Laibach gern bis 1998 und ich habe Milan Frost sehr gern. Er ist wunderbar und ich habe die Musik sehr gern. Ich komme aus Chicago, aber ich habe fremde Sprachen sehr gern. Zdravo, Milan. It was fucking amazing.
Oh God, it was like a religious experience.
It was like a religious experience. I'm sorry, I'm taking all my words from him. But they're one of my favorite bands in the world, and I'm so happy to see them again. And it's exhilarating and breathtaking, and I don't know what other words to use to describe it.
Minneapolis. Because the tour was canceled in Minneapolis.
So we had to travel all the way down here.
No, it was just amazing because it was a band I thought I would never see in the U.S. And I got to see them. I don't know. I was shocked when I saw it in the paper. I was like, am I hallucinating? Laibach is coming to Cleveland, and
my name is Frederick. I just came from the concert. I know the band from 5 years ago. From even from the CDs Macbeth or maybe the John Peel session. They just came out from the concert and it was really, really good.
It was the best show this year. It was big, it was art, it was fine. Highly recommended for people who are interested in design, highly recommended for people who are interested in social issues, highly recommended for people who are interested in America.
I've seen Laibach before. They're a wonderful psychedelic band. They're very similar to I guess they're kind of like, well, what would Laibach be like?
This is taking an aesthetic that has to do with classical art and putting into the rock and roll forum, like Overkill rock forum, the rock spectacle forum.
Unbelievable. Anyway, beyond my expectations, and the expectations were high.
I didn't know what to expect because I've never seen them live before, but I really was impressed with the entire composition and production and the marriage between the statements and the music and the lighting and the projection and the choreography. I like the girls.
I brought these girls to the Laibach concert tonight for their very first concert ever, and they had the greatest time. I've been a Laibach fan for 17 years, and I've never seen them live, so it was really an honor to see them tonight. and I've collected all of their videos and all of their albums. I don't know if I'm the typical Laibach fan, but I'm a big Laibach fan. I'm the greatest Laibach fan.
I know that their political orientation is perhaps different than mine, because I'm a National Socialist. You know, I am. I'm a fascist, but they present things in a way that's it's very interesting. It juxtaposes fascism and modern economy. You know, it's very interesting. You know, for me and for a lot of my friends.
My name is the Partridge in the Pear Tree, the Maytag Man, the Hunchback of Casa Bonita, the homosexual scientist.
My name is Diabolos Rex, and I am a painter and sculptor and a representative for the Church of Satan.
I am Tank with the Misfits. I'm their tour manager. Here in Toronto, we're playing down the street at a place called Reverb, but I heard these guys were in town, and I blew off my own band after working for them for 10 years to come down and see Laibach, my first show. I first became a fan in 1987 when Opus D came out, and I saw the Live is Life video on late night television and thought these guys are tremendous. Once Watt came out, and I realized that they were talking about a lot of the same things I'm interested in, conspiracy theories, Illuminati, Freemason, who runs the world kind of stuff. It just reignited everything for me again. And this was my first show. It blew me away when those guys busted into Tanzmet Laibach. I lost my mind. And I don't normally do that because I'm in the profession, so I'm usually a little more low-key. But this was amazing, and this is definitely the band to see. I can't say anything else. Thank you.
Und alle sehen kaputt von Rechtstechnologie, von Zeitökonomie, von Kollektiv des Lebens und Kriegsphilosophie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Größe und das mit mir.
I'm in there, and I did see police officers, and that was interesting. I'm not sure what they're there for. Again, last night, there was white supremacists, doing signs. So I thought that was part of it, but I'm not surprised being this country, and if someone says something or whatever, they're going to be carefully watched. So I can see how they will not, a band like Laibach will not be in the South, like where I'm at right now, like Florida, because it's very Christian, very sometimes backward, very I don't know, very, you go around, you'll see Bush stickers and supporters. So I don't even like saying who I voted for because I don't want to be uncomfortable around people who, in that climate.
This show is
You're at
fantastic.
Dumbledore?
It's the best.
Yeah.
Yep. Right by the stage.
Who did you want to see?
Laibach. That's tempting.
Do you live here or are you visiting?
Visiting. I gotta be back in Michigan by Monday.
Well, the show will end early. They're on from 11 till 12:15. And then how far do you have to go into Michigan?
You're taking the train. 35 Western Chicago. Can I give a message to Europe? Of course. Help us. Free us from our democracy. Free us from our dictatorship, please.
Unlike 4 years ago, where arguably the election in the United States was stolen, this time I think it was very clear, and it's very scary, that over 50% of the people in the United States want a polarizing president, someone who makes no effort to reach out, but only goes forward with his ideas and has a very black and white view. It's kind of a scary time. There's parallels with other times in other countries that, hopefully won't play out more than this. But I don't feel like this election was stolen. I feel like the American people have spoken, and now I feel sort of alien in my own country. So I'm looking to emigrate. But I have a passport, I tell you. It's just a matter of time. But the problem is, no matter where you go in the world, U.S. politics and U.S. policies will affect you. So I don't know if it's better to stay here and try to change things from the inside. The problem is we don't get another chance for 4 years. We had our chance, and somehow it didn't work out. President Bush was appealing to people on such a base emotional level, and his opponent, Kerry, was trying to appeal to people on an intellectual level, and clearly it's all about people's fears and people's greed, and so that's why we have Bush for 4 more years.
No, I'm from Texas. I'm from the South. I know this guy.
You too. Enjoy the show?
Very much so. Man, yeah. It was a very good show.
The turning point, the point of no return. New order to the brave new world. Mechanical to digital. From poltergeist to zeitgeist. From God's will to evil. And from superstars to the Antichrist. We are tired.
They sing a lot about what's, coming down in America right now, and I think that it was very good that they came at the time that they did.
It's a divided nation here in America, and maybe that's the answer, or maybe this is the future outcome, as Laibach has said their time now, which was pretty interesting.
What would be a definition of freedom?
It was a pretty symbolic thing in America because the states that went for Bush were red, and so it was literally like watching this big bloody hemorrhage happen on America and just like spread and divide these little islands of blue, and you couldn't even ask for anything better than that. And like they had national TV painting these things red live, so it was very like theatrical and pageantry, and it's kind of what's going on here anymore.
If it was easy to go back to Germany, I think we would have. It pretty much sucks. I was very disappointed. I had a small glimmer of hope that Bush might be out, and I guess I was living in Portland that gave me that hope, since people here didn't vote for him. But it's pretty dismal and fucked up. Entirely fucked up.
I think they raised a lot of good inspiration for Americans too, that are, with all the political shit that's going down right now. I think they're pulling some good inspiration to really like keep up and really keep motivated to actually do something.
President. We're the Snoop Dogg campaign election.
Campaign.
Everyone that votes on the 23rd gets a free blunt.
Oh, for Snoop.
Free blunt papers.
For Snoop.
And a Snoop Dogg CD.
Dogg.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DeMarcus Gillespie with the Snoop Dogg campaign, and I want you to vote. You.
Not
Do you see the
us,
seriousness in my eyes or the redness in my eyes? Because I'm voting for Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
He fucking rules.
Vote for
man.
Snoop.
And we're out.
Snoop Dogg.
All right. We're on TV.
You'd better get ready. You'd better beware. Banging at your windows. Barbarians are here. Barbarians are coming.
In the song from We Are WAT, Now You Will Pay, and there's a chant, Barbarians are coming. One could listen to it and think that it's a reference to Arabic peoples from the Mideast terrorism. Would you agree that barbarians are also coming from Texas and the West?
Well, I think Laibach's message to America is to look a little nicer, a little sharper, and to appreciate fun.
There's something very European about it that is maybe a little alien to Americans, but you've seen how the audiences have been reacting to it. I wish you could stay here, and if you can't, it would be nice to have an American Laibach at this particular moment.
It really comes down to, I don't think Americans understand a lot of foreign countries, and a lot of foreign countries don't understand America. You know, there's an American quality that the population responds to. You know, the big cowboy. You know, you got to, you know, America wants their leaders to be really strong. You know, and it doesn't matter if you're dumb sometimes. It just, you know, if you appear strong, that's all they care about. And Americans don't read enough, that's the whole thing.
Wir sind die Welten ganz kaputt. Wir sind das Biest im Absolut. Wir alle sind Gewiss all hier. Wir bringen Frieden auf zu dir. Wir halten dich für deine Hand zu steigen in die Himmelswand. Wir halten dich für deine Hand zu steigen in die Himmelswand.
Okay, cheers. Such a sweet man.
This is a song I'm going to dedicate to my friends in Laibach. And thank them so much for inviting me to do this very historic North American tour.
Americans are comfortable, right? Most Americans, even if you're fairly poor, you can buy a car, you can buy a TV, and you like that. You don't want that being disrupted by terrorists. You know, and this is a big thing in the United States to, you know, they want a leader who will fight the terrorists. Well, that's great, you know, but they're just doing it the wrong way. All they're doing is creating more terrorism. And you know, and it's gonna bear out that way. I think. You know, eventually, the United States is gonna just leave Iraq, just like they did Vietnam, without accomplishing anything, except making a lot of enemies. That's all.
Are we on the brink of a global confrontation, and can it be stopped someday?
A shocking inside look at what the world really thinks of America. Don't miss the special Breaking Point investigation, Hating America. Welcome back.
I bought the Divided We Stand t-shirt, I think. It was a great logo. I love the way you use the two-headed eagle of our national emblem and creating a sort of Eastern European version of it. And the Divided States of America is a brilliant statement. It's so very true. I mean, it's one thing we've been talking about a lot in the last week or two, how there are two Americas, and Seattle is a lot different than Utah.
Laibach's message is so welcome right now, and come back in the next few months again. I think we need your message. More and more people need to see it. We need to get your DVD on television, and people need to hear your message. And I think there's a big audience for it here. And we'll do our best here in Cleveland to try to spread the word. But you guys I saw you, 15 years ago first when you came to Cleveland, and then 9 years ago again. and it's a brilliant concept that you have and way of presenting it, and I applaud you.
I mean, this sounds very, okay, maybe I'm stretching it, but Laibach and Alamut are very, very similar because it's a negation of power, and at the same time, they're using power to express their work, to express this negation of power. It's incredible. And I didn't understand the connection between Alamut, the connection between some of these films, the connection between Laibach until I experienced Laibach, and not on CD, not on DVD, but alive, and I could feel that power and hear them talking about the negation of that power at the same time. It was extraordinary.
It's a difficult moment, and it's Laibach's message to me when I listen to the words is not to react, it's to think about what's happening. And I feel that this last album is everybody has a reaction to what has just been happening in recent years. And I feel Laibach chooses not to react. They choose to send the information back out and say, think about what's happening and why this is happening and what the hell are we going to do to make a change for the better. And you have to listen to understand. And if you take a moment to listen, you will understand. And for me, I understand. And I understand Laibach music. So it's a great moment for me. And I want to thank everybody in the band for making this 15 years that I've waited to see you one of the greatest nights of my life. So, thank you.
I had a very fun time tonight, and I do agree that this was a very glamorous evening. The girls were hot. The girls were very hot. It was a very great addition. I almost cried at one point. The music was, the bass was thumping through my heartbeats. I thought I was gonna have a coronary heart attack. I can't talk that well.
Winners and defeaters. We don't like morality and we sure don't want to preach about it. But your country, obsessed by moral values, is now forcing us to do so. Let's say this very loud and clear. The higher the buildings, the lower the morals. Moral values in America today are nothing, pure nothing. Behind the faith in God, evil is hiding, lots of evil and sin against humanity. Freedom, democracy, family, life protection and security for your own nation are based on violence, revenge and hatred for all who set up an obstacle to the overrated theory and practice of the American way. Lust for power, greed and arrogance is killing this nation and its soul, if there is still any left. The game you play, lying, stealing, sowing death, to protect your concept of morality and life against the life of others, is not the right way. Heedless self-interest for countries like America was always bad morals, but it's bad economics as well. There are no winners in this game, no victory need for you or anybody else. In fact, it's a suicide your nation is doing to itself. Although by the number of ammunition and guns, bombs and bullets, America might still be a leading force and a global superpower, you appear to us, who had a chance to see you from up close and personal, a third world country, a clumsy giant filled with fear and prejudices, a giant child abused by his parents, a large flock of sheep on the open range without a ranger, without a shepherd and a leader. Your president is the opposite to Christ, and his victory is based on moral values. Christian moral values. I tell you this, the worst government is always the most moral one. But when fanatics are on top, there is no limit to oppression. Morality, which is based on ideal, is an unmitigated evil. And don't forget, your president represents the majority of your nation. This time it is true. It's not even a lie. Well, my dear ones, it is also true that Americans in general are not too intelligent. For that reason, we can partly forgive you and overlook some of your sins. But this will not help stopping the decay. The historical primate of America is approaching its end, and this is an historical fact. Like every empire, the USA is falling apart. A unum pluribus, from one, many. United you fall, divided you stand. The divided states of America are being made, and the civil war is being foretold.
I've lived in this country for 58 years. I was here when Europeans arrived, and I'm happy to say that so far, I've been able to look at distinctions to be made between what folks where I'm from consider freedom and what is the national norm, or ideas about freedom, ideas about liberty. I've never been free. I don't know this idea in relationship to what the country says it means or should mean for me.
Well, it's a different situation because now that I understand more about Laibach, particularly from watching the documentary just now, I see that that they and yourself seem to be coming. My impression, you seem to be growing out of a certain kind of cultural oppression that is foreign to me as an American. I won't say that I don't understand it, but I haven't lived under the similar circumstances that make that, particularly relevant in the same way. I think maybe now, given the political situation here among the majority of Americans, I think we're starting to get a sense of a similar kind of pressure. Although it seems to be more subtle. It's not so outright, it's not an outright obvious form of control, but I think it's a more subtle kind of manipulation that is all pervasive in American culture. But for us, I'm just kind of wildly speculating at this point. For us, it's something that we've grown to expect and don't even know it's there. And we live under a sense of freedom that we don't even particularly understand that we're being manipulated. I've worked a bit in advertising, so I have some sense of insight into the mechanism of manipulation, in terms of how you spend your money, where you go for your vacations, try and influence how people think in that regard. So. There's a relevance, but it's a different form of relevance between the European, your European roots and the totalitarian state that you've lived under, and the sort of totalitarian state that we're coming to live in. And I mean that's expressed in some very obvious ways through a recent choice of president, but I think that only just scratches the surface.
America strong and free, and they take pride in their mission.
Our strength is in pulling together, working each day side by side.
I think maybe not within my lifetime, but something very serious is going to happen, perhaps like France in 1789. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I could see it happening. Hate to say that, but that's why I feel, Laibach's message is very relevant. The real life that's out there is not terribly pretty, but it's very definitely real. And I always thought of their music as politically incisive, alternative music for the thinking man. So I would not presume to interpret what Laibach really means, but that's what it means to me.
the rest. And we all get the power, we all get the best. When everyone gives everything, then everything will get. Life is life. Life is life. Life is life. When we all feel the power. Life is life. When we all feel the pain. Life is life. It's the feeling of the people. Life is life. It's the feeling of the land. When we all give the power, we all give the best. Every minute in the hour, we don't think about the rest. When we all get the power, we all get the best. And everyone gives everything and every soul. Everyone will feel life. Life is life. Life. Life is life. Life.
Immer wir Kraft geben, geben wir das Beste. All unser Können, unser Streben und denken nicht an Feste. Kraft ist, was uns allen zusteht. Wir bekommen nur das Beste. Wenn jedermann auch alles gibt, dann wird auch jeder alles kriegen. Leben heißt Leben. Leben heißt Leben, wenn wir alle die Kraft spüren. Leben heißt Leben, wenn wir alle den Schmerz fühlen. Leben heißt Leben, heißt den Leben erleben. Leben heißt Leben.
We're glad that it's over. We thought it would last. Every minute of the future is a memory of the past. Cause we gave all the power, we gave all the best. And everyone lost everything and perished with the rest. Life. Life is life. Life. right here.